Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Cook It. This is Ed. Alright, so yesterday I didn't make a video because we were on the road doing some errands. Went to Goodwill and to the store and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, today I'm going to make a video and I'm going to make something called broccoli rice casserole. Now, I want to show you this little recipe, and some of my viewers will probably recognize the bank logo right here. And this is probably from the 80s. This bank used to put these recipes in with your check statements that you get every month. And my mom collected a whole bunch of them. Now, I don't know that she ever made any of the recipes. She might have, I don't remember. But she did keep all the recipes. And I did find some in this old box. Deluxe checks. Y'all remember that when we used to write checks back in the day before we had cards and all that nonsense? But anyway, so she'd label it recipes, recipes, recipes. Now let me show you. Some of these aren't from the bank, and I'll just put those that's not from the bank in the bottom of the box. Like, here's some more recipes right here. This one's called potato chip cookies. I'm probably going to make that because I want to see what it's like. Macaroni salad. Let me see what else we got in here. Farmer's casserole to make ahead for breakfast or supper. Probably make that. Mandarin orange cake. That sounds really good. But anyway, you get the idea. These recipes came every month in your statements. And I remember getting them too because I had a checking account at that bank when I was younger. And I'd get those recipes as well. All right, so broccoli rice casserole, and I'll tell you the ingredients. It's also going to be listed in the video description. 2 cups of cooked rice, an 8-ounce jar of Cheez Whiz, a can of cream of chicken soup, 1 package of frozen chopped broccoli, thawed and drained, and Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix. Okay, so I'm going to improvise this a little bit because on some of the ingredients, like 1 package of frozen chopped broccoli, if I remember right, those used to come in a box, and I don't know if they still come in a box anymore. Mostly what I see in the stores, the frozen vegetables comes in a bag, and they're normally the kind that you steam. That's what I got today, and I did partially cook it. Since it didn't give an ounces on there, I'm going to use 2 bags of this, and that's going to be about 20 ounces of broccoli. I don't know. I don't think it's going to hurt the recipe any. The Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix, I got the Kroger brand chicken flavored stuffing mix because it's a lot cheaper and it's just as good. And let me read this to you, and I'm going to tell you what I decided to do with the recipe that's going to be a little bit different. It says mix together above ingredients except the stuffing mix, pour into greased casserole, sprinkle with Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix, bake about 30 minutes at 350 degrees or until piping hot. Now, I kind of decided that I wasn't going to just take the dry stuffing mix and pour it over the ingredients and then put it in the oven. That stuff is crunchy, and I can't imagine it baking and making it more crunchy. So I made it like the box directions say to when you're going to have stuffing, with butter and water. I don't know, maybe that wasn't the intent, but I really don't think it sounds good to eat a bunch of crunchy stuffing, because you can barely chew it. And I couldn't find an 8-ounce jar of the Cheez Whiz. I got the 15-ounce jar, so we'll use half of that. Maybe a little bit more since we're using 20 ounces of broccoli. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. So what I'm going to do, put the bowl down here, or the camera down here so you can see the bowl. There's the bowl. And what we're going to do, let's put the rice in here. That's already cooked. That's 2 cups. And let's see, the broccoli. Let's put the broccoli in there. Like that. The cream of chicken soup. Let's get a little spoon for that. We're going to pour this in here just like that. Mix it up. Put it in the baking dish, which it says to grease it. I just use some pan cooking spray. I think you could also use butter. That would just give it an extra flavor. All right. Now what we're going to do is mix all this together. Let me get that rice off the spoon. That stuff is sticky. All right, stir it together. I didn't forget to put the Cheez Whiz in. I wanted to get some of this mixed up before we put that in there. And then we'll bake it. We'll see how it turns out. I think that looks like a good amount of broccoli. I don't think one package would have been enough. Okay, now, let's get the Cheez Whiz. We'll start with what I think is going to be about half. Then if I think it needs more, we'll add more. My mom loved Cheez Whiz. She bought it all the time. I wasn't a super fan of it, but I mean, it's okay. That looks like it's about half of the Cheez Whiz. So I think we're just going to go with that. Now, let's put the baking dish into the shot. Pour this into the baking dish. Scrape that all in there. We'll spread it out. Just like so. Now I don't think you're going to have to add extra salt, because Cheez Whiz is salty and so is the stuffing mix. Let's just get that little bit of Cheez Whiz back in there. Now what I'm going to do is put the stuffing mix on top of that. Just kind of spread it over. And just do this. And as always, I have an audience. So what I think I'm going to do, because I have some leftover cheese and I need to get it used up, I'm going to put, excuse me, I took a bite of this stuffing, pardon me. I'm going to put some cheese on this. Here's some cheddar jack. So we'll just take some of this, put it on there. And this says bake at 350, as I mentioned before, until piping hot. I'm going to bake it until I see some bubbles and the cheese is melted. So there you go. There's an old recipe from the bank. We're going to try it, see how it turned out. And also I want to mention, Mom, this is for you. We love you, we still miss you, and every time I see these recipes, I think of you, and these are good memories. All right, so I'm going to put this in the little oven back there, right there. I'm going to put the video on pause, get this put in the oven. We'll get it baked, take it out, we'll try it, see how everyone likes it. Be back in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. The broccoli rice casserole is out of the oven. I let it bake about 15 minutes. I kept my eye on it. It started to bubble. So basically, it just had to get hot because the rice was cooked, the broccoli was partially cooked, the stuffing was ready to go, and the cheese on the top is melted. Let's put the camera down there so you can see what it looks like. So there it is. Now, moment of truth time. Ooh, look at that steam. Here's another shot of it. Let's put the camera back up here. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper on it. No salt, because like I said, everything in there besides the rice and the broccoli is pretty salty. So, I think the amount of Cheez Whiz that I used looks like it was sufficient. So let's get some of that out of there. And I did drop some of it on the countertop. All right, let's cool it off. Well, I think it turned out really well. Now let's taste the stuffing that's on top that is not crunchy. That's also good. I think this is something you'd like. If you like rice and all the other ingredients, I would go ahead and make it. It's quick and comes together really fast. Definitely make the stuffing on the package directions. Can you imagine trying to eat that stuff? It's hard anyway. And then you put it in the oven and just bake it like that? I couldn't eat it. You know what the rice and broccoli part reminds me of? You know that Uncle Ben's rice that comes in a package, it's broccoli and cheese? I love that stuff. I haven't had it for a really long time, but that's what it tastes like. I used to eat a lot of that stuff back in the 80s. You know, when I was young, didn't cook as much as I do now. And then you just buy everything prepackaged and fix it like that. That was the broccoli. It's still crunchy, but it's tender at the same time. So cook it about halfway if you're going to make this. And I think it's going to turn out great. It's not mushy at all. And the rice isn't gummy. It turned out really well. I think I'd make it again. Again, Teller recipe from the Farmer's Bank from when I was a kid and when I was a young adult. And I hope that any one of my viewers that I'm friends with from that area would remember that. Maybe they'll comment on it and maybe they have some recipes they would like to share from the bank. All right, everyone. I'm going to get Rich a bowl of this and see how he likes it. The dogs want a bite of it too. And, you know, we always got to take care of them. Everybody, it's a beautiful day here, and I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. Get out and enjoy it if you can. Have fun. Be safe. If it's really hot out there where you are, make sure you stay hydrated. Don't overdo it. If you're going to be tanning like I am, get in the shade once in a while, or take a dip in the pool, whatever. All right. I'm going to say it. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to taste good. This is Ed, and this is Let's Cook It. Hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. Helps out the channel. And as always, if you have any ideas or for recipes you'd like for me to make, send me a message. Everyone have a great day. Bye for now. Take care.